right. He used it in I've been there.
Yeah. It really is beautiful.
Thank you.
Where did that come from?
For sure. It's great pipeline for
We've played well for today.
for you to
And hidden some of our.
The crowd quiets. Appreciate you all coming. Yeah, what a wonderful day. It's so exciting. I get goosebumps looking at my friends around the crowd, and thank you so much for coming. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rob Hromis. I'm acting president here at UT Health San Antonio, and it's such an honor to welcome each of you to this dedication of our multi-specialty and research hospital. 7 years ago this month, a couple weeks ago, at a burger joint downtown about 11 o'clock in the evening, Bill Hinrich and I sketched out the ideas for this hospital on a napkin. Now, this is not the napkin. But remarkably similar to this, that cutting-edge research would be applied to every single patient, where we would do clinical trials of our science applied to, in the most compassionate manner, to every single needy person in South Texas. Today, we stand united in realizing that vision, a vision to redefine healthcare by merging the highest caliber care capped by pioneering research applied to every patient in an unwavering commitment to compassionate service. This facility is more than just a building, it's a beacon of hope for the hopeless, healing, innovation for not just San Antonio, but all of South Texas. Since this hospital's original inception on that napkin, we've experienced extraordinary support from so many of you in this room. We are so grateful for that support. This building would not exist without you and your support. And so I'd like to recognize those supporters, those honored guests that made this building possible. And so I'd like to call the names of all those dignitaries that are here today, and if you'd stand briefly, and let's hold our applause till everyone's recognized. It's quite a list because the team is large that made this building a reality. First off, our county judge, Peter Sakai. Thank you, Peter. And then our senator, District 26, Jose Menendez. And many guests from UT System. Please, if I forget someone, I'm so sorry. I'd like to start with my boss, Chancellor J.B. Milliken. One of his bosses, Regent Vice Chairman Rad Weaver from San Antonio. And then good friend, Dr. John Zerwas, Executive Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs. And then also here is Vice Chancellor for Governmental Relations, Julia Rathgaber. Julia, all right, there she is, great. Thank you. And then Jonathan Pruitt. Jonathan, thank you so much. He's Executive Vice Chancellor for Business. And then Associate Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs. Did I see Melissa Garcia here? Oh, there she is. Melissa is sitting next to her. Andrea. Associate Vice Chancellor for Finance, Mr. Terry Hall. Terry, oh, there. Thank you, Terry. And then finally, from UT System Financial Contract Manager, Jonathan Lewis. Jonathan? Yes. Also here is our future partner. And then other guests of his senior leadership include Veronica Salazar, his Executive Vice President for Business Affairs. Veronica, is she here? Oh, there she is. Oh, Veronica, thank you. And then Lisa Campos, the Vice President and Athletic Director. I saw Lisa here earlier. There she is. And then we have Bill's wife, Mary Hinrich. Oh, there. I'll give you the napkin after this ceremony. She has special guests Mary Rogers, Sidney Wilkins, Joan Woodley. Mary and Sidney's late spouses were faculty physicians when we first started the medical school here. So that's fun. Dr. Byron Hepburn, chair of the San Antonio Medical Foundation, who provided the land on which this hospital was built. I have more on University Health later, but we have special guests from their leadership here, starting with Ed Banos, their new Chief Executive Officer, Ed Wave, standing in the back. George Hernandez, their past CEO, and my friend. Bill Phillips, their new COO, Bill. Jimmy Hoslocker, the chair of the Board of Managers at UH, is there as well. I saw Ted Day, the Vice President for Strategic Planning, Reed Hurley, and Lenny Kirkman, the Chief Financial Officer and the Chief Marketing Officer, respectively. And they're standing. And then, of course, our own UT Health San Antonio leadership. My friend, my partner in operating this enterprise, Chief Operating Officer, Andrea Marks. Facilities and capital projects team that helped this building get built on time and on budget, by the way, Dr. Mike Charlton and Jim Kazin, sitting in the back. And then our amazing partner in this construction project, Vaughn Construction. I think Michael Vaughn is here today and his team, and they did a great job, and this beautiful building is thanks to them. And then starting from employee number one, the CEO, Jeff Flowers, you'll hear from him later. But we have many of the hospital leadership here today. Chief Operating Officer, Jeremy Viles, who will lead many of the tours. Chief Nursing Officer, Nancy Doolittle. Chief Medical Officer, Al Fink, and Chief Financial Officer, Tim Evans. And then another close old friend, Dr. Bob Leverance, runs our medical affairs. Bob? We have 6 of our deans of our health schools here today, and I'd like to acknowledge them, starting with Acting Dean of the Medical School, Francisco Cigarroa. Francisco is my friend and mentor. Here he is. Dean Sonia Harden of the School of Nursing. Sonia, oh, there she is. Dean David Sheladay, our largest school, the School of Health Professions. Then I saw Dean Peter Loomer of our dental school. That's our highest ranked health school. 14th in the nation. And then did I see David Weiss, too, of Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. He's not going to stand. Finally, Li Zeng, a pancreatic cancer international expert, is our director of the Mays Cancer Center. Li is over here to our right. Thank you so much for coming. And without these folks and without so many people standing in the back, this building would not have been possible. To officially start the program, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Chancellor James Milliken, whose steadfast commitment to the growth of our health institutions in the state of Texas has played an essential role in bringing this vision to reality. J.B. Milliken serves as the Chancellor of the University of Texas System. Yes, there's a long paragraph here, I'm sorry.
Streamline it.
Yeah, okay, streamline it. We have a great state, and we have a great university system in that state, and its name is the University of Texas, and it's led by J.B. Milliken.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob. That was perfect. So, I know you're all getting tired of applauding. So the good news is I'm not going to say anything you will applaud over. So, Rob, thanks for hosting this historic event on this historic day and a new chapter for healthcare in San Antonio. You know, millions of families across 38 South Texas counties should not be limited by their geography to world-class healthcare, and they never will be. Today, As we dedicate this new multi-specialty and research hospital, we are establishing a new frontier in healthcare excellence, where complex surgeries, advanced cancer treatment, groundbreaking clinical research will transform the patient experience for the people of San Antonio and the entire region of South Texas. The combined strength of our schools, you met the deans and applauded them just now, will join forces with 1,400 healthcare providers and our 300+ research budget that will create an ecosystem of research and healthcare and education here that will really be unparalleled. This represents an almost $500 million commitment to San Antonio's health, starting with the Board of Regents and then the generosity of philanthropists, the UT Health commitment. This investment, as we heard earlier, was the vision of Bill Henrich, who led this university for 15 years with great distinction. This hospital was his dream, and I feel so fortunate to be here today to be able to help dedicate it. We are all deeply grateful for what Bill did for UT Health Science Center San Antonio, for the UT system, for the city of San Antonio, the state of Texas. It's a fitting tribute today that we are here to see this major part of his legacy come to fruition. Yeah. Bill was a wonderful man. I was a great admirer, not just of his spirit, his huge heart, his wit, his intelligence, but also he was always the best dressed guy anywhere. And I didn't bring a napkin, but Mary was nice enough to share a few of his ties with me, so I am wearing another of Bill's ties today to recognize him and give me the confidence to stand here where he would have stood to do this. His vision made this possible. The state-of-the-art imaging, the on-site labs, the advanced specialties. But it's the Board of Regents and its support that has made this a reality today. And I want to add my thanks to Dr. Nolan Pettis, to Vice Chairman Rad Weaver. Their support meant everything, and they supported it because Bill and his colleagues made such a compelling case that you couldn't say no. You couldn't say no to Bill anyway, but you really couldn't say no when he made such a compelling case here. And there's no one who has been more important in this process than the son of San Antonio, native Vice Chairman Rad Weaver, whose enthusiasm and championing of this project with his colleagues on the board throughout has been essential. Rad learned life lessons early on from his father, a football coach, how to be competitive, how to lead, hard work, and then later from Red McCombs, who mentored Rad for a number of years. So it's no surprise that he is a fierce competitor and a leader, and we are fortunate in the UT system and in San Antonio and in the state of Texas to have Rad Weaver playing a key leadership role for all of us. So please join me in welcoming Vice Chairman of the Board of Regents, Rad Weaver.
Thank you, JB. He gets, like any great leader, gets uncomfortable when you talk about him, and so he cut Rob off, but he can't cut me off, and so it's one of the great pleasures of being a regent. Look, one of the first hires that we made when I became a regent was JB, and I can tell you, it has just been such a great pleasure over the last 7 years working together, developing a friendship, and it's really it's unique in your life when you get to see somebody that really is the absolute best at what they do, and get to be around that person on a daily basis. And the system is rolling. There's no doubt about it, across the system here in San Antonio and Dallas and Houston. And that doesn't happen without leadership, and that has happened under JB's watch. So thank you so much. I've learned in 8 years being a regent, you got a couple of rules in these speeches. Keep it short and stay on script. And I'm pretty good about keeping it short, not great on staying on script. And so I'm going to go off script here a bit. Nolan is here. We've got 7 other regents that I will tell you, I think we're, and Jonathan, you can fact check me here, but I think we're fast approaching nearly $1 billion of commitment to this community here in San Antonio since I've been on this board. And that's not because I'm hounding and selling, although I do like to do that. It's because the board recognizes how important this market is for Texas and for our system, and we see that with our leadership here. And thank you all for everything you do on a daily basis. It's so meaningful. So, Nolan, thank you. Look, it's such a great honor to be here and represent our Board of Regents, and you know, San Antonio has been home for me my entire life. And look, today we're celebrating an extraordinary milestone, and this hospital embodies a bold and forward-looking vision to provide San Antonians with the highest level of precision-based healthcare right here in our own city. No longer will families have to travel outside of our community to access top-tier care. Instead, they will find groundbreaking treatments and innovations, including advanced cancer care, under this very roof. I'd like to extend my sincere appreciation to Rob for stepping into the breach when he did. He's just done a tremendous job, and that same appreciation should be extended to the leadership here at UT Health San Antonio, and it's now 9,000 faculty and staff. Their visionary work in bringing best-in-class hospital to life. A tribute to Dr. Henrich's enduring vision, and I can't just stop there. Yeah, I would get a text every so often from Bill, and it was, "Can we go to breakfast? Can we go to lunch?" And it was always a big idea, right? And I knew what was coming, and I loved every minute of it. But nothing meant more in my time with him than this place, and I won't ever forget his words. It's rad. If we can get this built, it'll be the crowning achievement of my career. And he said, "I would love your support here." And here we are today. And thank you so much. So on behalf of my regents, and as well as the citizens of San Antonio, congratulations on reaching this significant milestone. I look forward to the opening December 10th and witnessing the remarkable ways this hospital is going to help our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chancellor Milliken and Regent Weaver. Deeply appreciate that. This multi-specialty and research hospital is an extraordinary accomplishment, what's called a greenfield hospital, building a hospital out of nothing in a green field. It's a testament to what can be achieved when vision meets dedication, meets collaboration, meets friendship. From a restaurant napkin to this beautiful hospital, we owe the vision to my friend and our late president, Bill Henrich. His dedication to this institution and its mission motivated us all, brought me here, many of us here, to work towards this day. You've noticed that I've mentioned friendship, my friend, so many times. There's a reason for that. The reason we came, the reason we stayed, the reason we work nights and weekends is because we love the people we work with. Our team is extraordinary, and this building, built out of a green field, is a testament to our friendship. And I look around the room and see so many friends, and I thank you for your friendship, because without you, I wouldn't be able to accomplish any of the work of the day. With this hospital, we begin a new era here. We want to bring advanced research in drugs, devices, and diagnostics to innovative clinical trials from our science and marry it with compassionate patient-centered care. Patients here will not just receive treatment, the best treatment possible, they will receive highly personalized research-based therapies that are tailored to meet their unique needs. Our mission, which will be on the wall here, is to deliver hope and healing by uniting the power of discovery with the humility to serve. This building represents the power of partnership. I mentioned friendship. That collegiality and collaboration exemplifies San Antonio. It exemplifies actually the many health institutions in the region. We owe immense gratitude to the San Antonio Medical Foundation for donating this land. We also thank the donors, many donors I see sitting here, our community partners who believed in this vision and invested in our journey when it was just a green field. And we would not exist without our main hospital partner, University Health, whose world-class excellence in trauma, transplant, obstetrics, pediatrics, served not only as an example for South Texas, but as a template for education for the majority of our students and residents. This hospital is meant to complement their extraordinary efforts. Finally, I want to mention the excitement of our impending integration with the University of Texas at San Antonio. They will be our partners as we move ahead on our journey to achieve elite global university status. Their hard sciences and excellence in computer engineering, AI, and cybersecurity married with our health outreach and our clinical trials will revolutionize healthcare, not just for South Texas, but for the world. The future president of our joint university will be Taylor Amy. He will serve as a catalyst for transformative impact on this region, and he's an extraordinarily creative person. It is through the support from all of you, each of the groups I mentioned, that we are here today. I also want to finally acknowledge all the tireless efforts of those folks you don't see, the folks that pick up the trash and mop the floors and make sure the screws are screwed in, to make sure the lights are on, make sure the water is on, the air conditioning is on. These folks make this place work, and they save lives just as much as the surgeon in the ER saves lives. So thank you all to the UT Health team. I'd like to give a round of applause to those nameless folks that make this place work. Thank you so much. Without accolades, we appreciate you so much. I see so many of them standing in the back. Thank you so much. Now it is my privilege to introduce our hospital's Chief Executive Officer, employee number one. I remember when this was just a dream, when we were talking on the phone and he was visiting us. He walked the field with us. Jeff has brought a wealth of expertise and leadership and turned this vision into a functioning reality. Jeff?
Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Hromis. Thank you all for being here today. Couldn't help but reflect this morning as I drove in that it was actually 3 years ago next week that I joined or visited San Antonio for the first time and met with many of you just in a conference room over on the campus looking out toward this building. And I believe they were about 2 stories high at the time, and listened to the vision that each of you shared, listened to the passion that each of you had for what was to come. And I left that visit knowing that this was home for me, knowing that this was the place that I wanted to be. And my wife and I made the decision then that if we were fortunate enough to be given this opportunity, that we would join this team and come to San Antonio and relocate here and make it our home, and we have done that. And so thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. It is truly more than just a professional milestone for me. It's a personal one. Since coming on board as CEO, I've witnessed firsthand the extraordinary commitment of everyone involved, from our architects and engineers to our clinical and administrative teams. Together, we have built something truly remarkable, a place where cutting-edge medicine meets compassionate care in a space designed to foster healing. Like Dr. Hromis, I have lots of thank yous that I have a list of individuals and groups of people that I would like to call out. Some of those are repetitive, and so in order to be efficient with this morning, I will try to avoid some of that. But know that all of the thank yous that he has expressed come from me as well. And so if I do not call you out now, please forgive me for that. But I do want to call out a few. Beginning with the hospital operating board. If you are part of the hospital operating board, if you would stand and just allow this group to thank you for your participation and your involvement. Dr. Hromis, Dr. Leverance, and Andrea Marks in particular. Thank you. Your leadership, To me, your support for this project, I'm grateful for it. What I will refer to as the operational readiness teams, and there's lots of that. So while this facility was being built and coming up, and we could all see the visible, the tangible progression of that, there were countless teams, countless activities going on, virtually through Teams meetings, work groups, and activities of operational groups working together to make this vision a reality. Our consultant teams from ECG and Covalis were a part of that project and part of that activity and support, so I thank them for their time and energy on this project. To what I refer to as our UT support teams, the university teams that are here from finance and supply chain, from legal and compliance, HR, marketing, facilities, UTPD, health IT, you've all invested in, you've leaned into this vision. You've added to your day jobs to invest in making this a reality, and I'm grateful for that. To all of our academic partners, faculty members who, again, took time out of their already busy schedules to jump on team meetings and invest in workflow discussions, policy and procedure discussions, a lot of stuff that you don't see, but are incredibly important for us to reach this moment, and certainly in order for us to achieve opening in December. And then finally, to the MSRH leadership teams, starting with our senior leadership team. Dr. Hromis has already acknowledged those, but I would be mistaken to not do the same. To Dr. Jeremy Viles, our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Nancy Doolittle, our Chief Nurse, Dr. Al Fink, our System CMO, and to Tim Evans, our Healthcare CFO. And then to our directors, managers, and other team members that are here today. Many of them are walking around in the black polos. They're here to support you as you enjoy this day and have an opportunity to tour this facility. Thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for coming alongside me to make this vision a reality. Our journey is just beginning, and I look forward to doing that with you. Our mission here is to create a healthcare environment that is welcoming and supportive, prioritizing the experience of patients and their families. Spacious rooms allow families to be with loved ones, while a healing garden and walking trails offer peaceful moments of reflection essential to holistic care. Here it's far more than bricks and mortar. We offer an environment where our core values of service, integrity, and teamwork mean something to us to our core. We strive to create experiences that bring hope and healing to all who walk through our doors. Technology is a cornerstone of our approach. Advanced AI, touchless design, and state-of-the-art imaging set new standards for patient care and safety. Yet while innovation drives us, compassion remains our guiding principle. This hospital's unique design fosters calming, supportive space for patients, families, and healthcare professionals, integrating care, education, and research. It is now my honor to introduce our final speaker, Dr. Carmen Tafoya, our city's first City Poet Laureate, then State Poet Laureate of Texas, and Professor Emeritus of Bicultural Bilingual Studies at UTSA. A native of West Side boroughs of San Antonio, she is the author of the beautiful children's books you've been gifted today, The Last Butterfly, and of more than 40 other books of poetry, short stories, nonfiction, and children's books. She has a special message for us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor of being among this incredible group of people who have had an incredible vision and carried it to fruition. I was asked to say a few words before I share with you a poem, and those words were going to be about my own experience as a former cancer patient. You know, 2012 was a wonderful year for me. I had just been named San Antonio's first city poet laureate. Mayor Julian Castro had investitured me at the city council chambers in front of a standing room only crowd. My fellow poets had celebrated me with rose petals and verses. And while my late husband was in the early stages of Parkinson's then, and my mother at age 94 was deteriorating in health and physical capacities, both had been able to attend the event and participate emotionally. Our little family was complete. Our 20-year-old son, our 7-year-old daughter, my 94-year-old mom who lived with us. Life was abundant and joyous. But as so often happens with the blessings of life, they were sprinkled with some frightening surprises. Foremost among them, that at less than 2 months into my very busy laureateship schedule, I discovered a spherical growth 1 inch in diameter in the middle of my right breast. When a biopsy revealed it to be malignant and fast-growing, a whole new chapter of research and treatments began. In the following 15 months, I would undertake much reading and exploration, a new anti-inflammatory diet, an experimental formula, spiritual and attitude cleansing, herbal medicine, sweat lodge, Reiki with a curandero, chemotherapy, surgery, radiation, and a commitment to keep my mind, my spirit, and my words powerful and healthy. I insisted on being an active part of the treatment team and to never allow myself to feel a victim or helpless. This too was part of the medicine. Today, more than 11 years past my last treatment, I call myself a cancer veteran. Been there, done that, and hopefully will not get called into service again. I learned much on that journey. I learned that every one of those treatments was helpful, healthy, and empowering, but I learned most that the community of people around me was one of my biggest tools in helping me fight and win this battle, because they lent me strength when I was weak, held me up when I couldn't stand on my own. Maria Antonieta Berriozábal, former city council person for San Antonio, drove me to chemo, sat with me for the hours-long treatment, and drove me home, insisting I lay down for a nap before she leave. My friend Olga Kaufman parked herself in the hospital room for the 3 days I was in the hospital for surgery and looked under the bandages for me when I was too scared to see what it looked like. Does it look like IH-10? I asked her. When she lifted the bandages on the 3rd day, what's it look like? A little like IH-10, she answered casually. My spiritual son, David, left his job in Mexico City, flew to San Antonio, and handled all his meetings digitally for a month while he drove my husband, by then more seriously impaired by Parkinson's and unbeknownst to us only 4 years from his own death, to and from the hospital, drove my 2nd grader to school, took her to her talent show, cheered for her, bought groceries, cooked meals, washed dishes, chatted with my elderly mom to keep her from being lonely, and at the end of the month, after I was safely at home, he admitted, "It's kind of hard being Carmen." My surgeon trusted me, offered options, gave me choices, and didn't hide research results from me that a different surgeon might not have wanted me to see. While I tried alternative options, my comadres organized a meal train for my family so I wouldn't have to worry about how my elderly mom, my ailing husband, and my 2nd grader were going to eat. My English and Spanish skills also helped me find more positive ways to rephrase things when doctors used expressions that I felt were negative. My curandera from Zarzamora Street came and reminded me of the power of thought, action, love, friendship, to create a healing environment. It's not just medicine, diet, and exercise that affect a person's health, but also environment, physical, and emotional. Indigenous healers came bringing bundles of herbs, reminding me that today's most powerful chemotherapeutic medicines are made from natural herbs, like the yew tree used in cancer treatment for thousands of years on this continent, and moyote, the Mexican honeysuckle plant, extracts from which are documented now in the Sage Journal of Medicine to decrease the viability of hepatocellular carcinoma cells. In fact, roughly half of the conventional chemotherapy agents are derived from plants. When UT Health asked me to write a poem for the dedication of this very special hospital, I thought first about the beautiful community of doctors, researchers, fellow patients, and healthcare workers that would create this healing environment. I thought about the power of hope, of sunlight after a storm, of green and growing solutions, blossoming with new possibilities and new discoveries. I thought about the many storms of life that each of us will have to face in our own lives in our own way. And I thought of all those, living or dead, who have helped to make this moment, this dedication of a beautiful ambiente de esperanza possible. Those who with their words or their faith or their sweat or their donations or their commitment to their calling, their dedication of their life's work have warmed our storm worries with golden rays of hope. I thought of you. The poem that I created is called A Blanket of Hope, and it mentions the bundle of moyote herbs, and it mentions typical elements of our San Antonio environment, because it had to have a sense of place. Because as this is where we are doing the healing, we need to be aware of the entire environment. So I worked in yellow esperanza flowers and red chile petin and firebush, as well as a few words in Spanish, because you can't do anything in San Antonio effectively unless you have Spanish and English, and you can't do it. As well as the golden sunlight of this blanket of hope, which you, as a medical hospital and its entire community, will offer to generations to come. And I want to end by thanking Dr. Bill Henrich. In Mexican culture, we have a word we say after the name of a great person who has passed. If that person has left their spirit and their loving actions with us, then when we say the name, we say presente afterwards, which is kind of like present after roll call or still here with us. So I'd like to provide my thanks to all of you, but also to Dr. Henrich Presente, and to his family for their support, and to everyone else that is here, either in body or in spirit. A blanket of hope. Life has its way. Storms rumble in the distance, rumble in our dreams, rumble sometimes right down our streets. A few terrorizing times flood all the way to our doorsteps or inside, respecting no boundaries. Sometimes we see the lightning strike someone else, a stranger, but now linked like familia. Because of this storm moment we have shared, we take the lightning in our very hands, unclench its grip on someone's flesh, and wrap their spirit in a blanket of hope. We raise our eyes to the skies and search for socorro, for help, and it appears, rising from some distant ocean like a wave of warmth, of strength, of memories and love. Like the purifying patter of a soft rain, invoking purple blossoms to burst finally from the thirsty gray silver of sage. A hand is offered, glowing with cariño. A path is committed. A song of survival is hummed like a lullaby, a vision of butterflies landing lightly. The voice of an ancestor gifting a bundle of hierbabuena y moyote, or in its more ancient name, ichcan. Todo se pasa. My father whispers from 40 years ago, no hay problema que dure, siempre viene una respuesta, every problem has an answer. Soon a garden will be blooming from this pile of tired dirt and ragged, overturned stones, well-watered with dreams, well-seated with hope. After the digging, sweating, searching, trying step and half again, we may awake to see the yellow brilliance of Esperanza blooms, the stubborn ruby sparks of Chile Petin on a deep green shrub, the firebush and hibiscus flowers, fruit of our commitment, the tall tree with roots and branches holding earth and sky together, a bond forged of boundless possibilities. The surge of spirit, our animo in action, the work of healing renews our stubborn, steadfast song that holds us up and folds us in to the tight abrazo of a turquoise sky infused with golden sunlight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tafoya. We may awake to see the Esperanza bloom. For us, that's one patient walking out of this hospital alive that would not have been alive had we not discovered something that changed the course of their disease. 19 years ago, last August, I was visiting my father in California, and he showed me his latest lab test, and his white blood cell count was elevated. And I said, okay, let's drive down to the lab that drew your blood and let me look at it under the microscope. I'm a hematologist. This is my field. I look at blood smears for a living. And unfortunately, my specialty is also hematologic malignancies. And when we looked at that blood smear under the microscope, I saw chronic myeloid leukemia, which earlier in my career was a death sentence. For all of human history, everyone who had chronic myeloid leukemia died in about 3 years, an average of 3 years. But not in my father's time. 3 years earlier, a friend of mine at another university had discovered a drug that turned chronic myeloid leukemia into a chronic disease like diabetes. And my father lived another 18 years. He saw 4 grandchildren get married and 7 great-grandchildren born. That would not have happened had not there been that discovery of imatinib for chronic myeloid leukemia. This is our promise to you, that we will leave no stone unturned to bring new treatments for incurable diseases, that we will bring hope to the hopeless, that we will use this hospital as a pinnacle of our research, of our discovery, and bring to the world, through this place, discoveries like that which changed my father's life. This will be a place where the most unsolvable medical problems will be met with not just compassion, but innovation, and a dedication to rigorously testing every new idea from every bark of a yew tree, paclitaxel, which I've used 100 times, to find that new therapy that provides that cure for that rare genetic or chronic disease, to change healthcare for not just San Antonio and South Texas, but all of the world. This hospital is more than just walls and rooms. It's a commitment to serve, to heal, but to discover and to apply that discovery. It's a place where generations of families will find comfort, where groundbreaking research will save lives through the collaboration of friends. And when you're our patient, you will become our friend. To our Board of Regents, to our Chancellor, to our Vice Chancellor, to the community, to the donors that help build this place, to our dedicated teams, to the folks that keep the lights on, thank you for making this possible. This is your legacy, it's not ours. This belongs to you now. We'll open December 10th with our first patient walking through these doors, up the staircase. But those that keep the lights on and keep the water running, this is your place. This is your hospital. Those that need help in South Texas, this is your hospital. We're here to help. And our greatest joy is to see someone walk out alive that we know our research helped. As we close today, we invite all of you to see the template which we will apply our research, our discoveries to. Our tours will start at the gift shop right back there, the glass wall behind the staircase. This is an extraordinary time, and we want you to share in it. And we want you to recognize that we're part of San Antonio. We don't stand alone. We stand with our partners to make this a place where together we solve unsolvable problems. Dr. Tafoya will be here signing the books that you're all gifted. We have snacks as you walk out. Please grab one as you leave. And with that, I will thank you so much for celebrating the dedication of the Multi-Specialty and Research Hospital with us. Thank you all.
Great job, Rob. You bet. You bet.
We're just beginning with this merger.
Yeah.
This is the first step, not the last step.
For sure.
Okay. All right.
Where do you want us? Down in front?
Yeah, sure.
Go get him.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
3 years late.